Now, as you notice in the WRX, there's only one more thing really that we have to do to make this car perfect. I know you want to say paint, but in this case, that's not it. We are going to be putting a big brake kit on the WRX. And I mean, as you can tell, that's pretty much all it needs left. We did all this stuff, put coilovers, wheels, big brake kit. We did a lot of little interior mods, did some exterior mods, and I feel like it looks pretty sweet. And there's always more that we could do to it, but a big brake kit is like one of the last things we really got to do to wrap this thing up. And as you can see over here, we got a lot of stuff. I also picked up some line wrenches, some flare nut wrenches, because we got to be able to use these to take off the brake lines, because now we have got some stainless steel ones, baby. So I guess let's go over everything that we got. Okay, so we already said stainless steel brake lines. I'm assuming this is an adapter kit because of the way that you have to run like Brembo big brake kits on this car. It seems like every single kit always includes these. Crap ton of hardware. And I heard some kind of good things about this. I mean, it's from Brembo, so I'm assuming it's really good. We got some Brembo front ceramic pads and some Brembo rear ceramic pads. I mean, it all ships as a kit. I didn't really pick it out, but I heard good things about all these parts. These are the DBA. You can't really see, but it's the DBA rotor. These are supposed to be really good paired with those brake pads. And I was thinking about getting just Brembos and trying to retrofit them off of like a different car, like a JDM STI or something, but I felt like this was probably good enough for now. I mean, the car doesn't get tracked or anything. Here's our rear. It's only a 2-pot. It says Subaru on it. Here we have got the fronts. 4-pot. It says Subaru on it as well. And yeah, these things are pretty sweet. Pretty hefty, and I think it's really going to help this car get wrapped all together. So since we lowered this car, it's actually easier to just jack up one side at a time. So I think that's how we're going to do it. I'll show you guys the front and the back that I do, and then just do the second side, or I guess the other side. So let me jack up this side of the car quick, and we'll get started. So as you can see, these things are destroyed. Look at all that rust. This is just gross. And I think the new ones are going to be a lot better than this junk that's on here. So this really shouldn't be too bad. This is the connection we have to take off, and it's going to be replaced by that stainless steel line. On the back of here is 2 bolts. We just got to pop out to take this off. And then since these are rusted on so much, it'll take some pounding, but I think this should come off pretty easy too. So it shouldn't take too long. But isn't that what you always say whenever you start a project? As you can see, it's not too hard tearing this apart. It's just 2 bolts on the back. As you can see on the outside there, and then the middle bolt is where actually the brake fluid goes in. You can just pop that off quick, loosen from these 2 bolts on the back, and now we're good to take out the brake pads. And there's 2 bolts on the back side of this we're gonna pull out, and this whole assembly comes off, and then we just gotta bang this out. It's really not that bad. It's taking off these brake lines that are really gonna suck. So I popped these 2 bolts off the back. We can get the second half of the caliper off. And now we just gotta use our persuader, a hammer, and bang this rotor off. And just like that, it's out. And now I was hoping that with all this extra workspace, it'll be a lot easier to take this brake line out, but I heard it's gonna suck, so let me go take a crack at it. So I was correct, these are gonna suck to take out, because when it sits through that hole right there, it has this little clip that sits underneath it inside of there, so you have to knock this clip off to be able to pull this through. And it's just not that much space at all to work with, but I found, if I got myself a pair of these, clamped them, and had it sit right up here, I could actually use the body of the car to hold this while I try and crank the nut loose, and that seemed to work pretty well. And we're leaking brake fluid all over the place, but that's why it's good we got some extra. Let's try and pop on a stainless steel line. All right, here's our new brake lines, and everything about this kit and everything we ordered is just so premium. We get some nice new bolts that go onto the caliper. We get actually like good clips to put on there, and these ones that have this little attachment are our front ones because that is how it lines up on the coilover. All right, now we kind of got this mocked up, and I gotta say, putting it on is a lot easier than taking it off. But since we're ready for the rotor, I got the front out here, and I'm gonna make sure I wipe it down on both sides with a paper towel or a cloth or something, just because they put some sort of residue or something on it, just that way it doesn't rust whenever it comes to your house from wherever it's made. At least I think so. That's just what I've always done. But we really just have to pop that on quick and then pop the caliper on top and connect it up, and the front's done. All right, so we got the rotor mounted up on there and the caliper, and man, does that look so much better than this junk back here. So I couldn't be happy with how this turned out so far. I think it looks amazing. And look at these pads we can load it up with. And I think this design is also supposed to make it easier to replace your brake pads, because you can just pull those 2 pins out here and just easily change them out for like if you're on the track or something, you need to swap your brake pads. So that's nice. But let me go ahead and pop these in and we'll see if I can wrap this up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our front is done and damn, does that look good. So we got the caliper all mounted up. We got ourselves a new rotor. I slid the brake pads in here and I still have to bleed the brakes and everything since we installed a new line. And I got to fill it up and do all that. But just slid the pads in. This little brace thing helps hold it down. And then there's some pins. And this thing that sits in the back. And look at that. This whole thing looks like it was redone. So I think the fronts are easier because there isn't a disc brake inside of the rotor. So these rears might be a little harder, but we'll get started on this now. Okay, so you're probably antsy like me, so you wanted to see the front with the wheel on, and damn, that looks sweet. And I was a little concerned because I thought maybe the wheel wasn't gonna fit on. Damn, look how dirty those wheels are. Because some wheels don't have enough clearance to fit with the big brake calipers on there, but I actually had enough offset so that way they would be able to fit. I mean, I still gotta test it out to make sure it doesn't like rub or anything, but that looks fantastic. And I got this rear caliper off, and oh, look how cute the little one-pot brake caliper is. It's so cute. I don't know what kind of, I mean, maybe this is 2002 vibe, but how is this a sports car with just one brake pot? I guess it's not a STI, it's just WRX, but that's pretty surprising. This is definitely in need of replacement. There's a huge hole here. There's holes all over the place. It's literally falling apart, but you can't just buy it and put it on there. You have to buy this whole knuckle and everything, so I think I'm gonna wait on it. So you're probably wondering what this whole mess is, but it's on. I had to do some modifications. Remember I was talking about that dust cover on the back? Well, actually, this rotor is too big for the dust cover, so you have to either bend it backwards or rip it off. Mine was just easier to rip off. I got the adapter on the back here, which I actually found was easier to bolt that on first, slide this rotor in, and then put the caliper on the back. And then this is what it looks like whenever you have to rebuild this, because I didn't know what it was supposed to look like, but I found a video, and you'll get these two shins on the top and the bottom that you just slide in. You got this, I think it's a brake dust protector or something that sits underneath these pins. And then this just makes sure the pins don't slide out or anything. So we got that. Let's put the wheel on. We can get a taste for what this thing's gonna look like whenever it's all done. Okay, you gotta ignore the mess on the wet floor, but dang, bro. Okay, they're not huge. I mean, I'm pretty sure these are stock on an 06 and an 07 regular WRX, not an STI. But you know what? I think this looks a lot better. And even though they're not huge, this is still better than the 2-pot and the 1-pot that this car used to have. Now it has double, so it's gonna have 4 in the front, 2 in the back, with the stainless steel brake lines and the brand new rotors. I feel like it's just gonna feel like a brand new experience. So I know it's not like we have a set of Brembos on here or something, but I still feel like these are great, especially for this car. It's only making like 300 horsepower. It's probably not gonna get much faster than that, and this should be a perfect setup. It's not like it sees the track that much. It's pretty much just only a street car, weekend car. So I'm sure I'm not gonna be really pushing the limits of this setup. So let me go do the other side quick. I'll actually show it to you again so you can see how terrible it looked. Gross. And over here, double gross. So let me go ahead, do the other side. Okay, so now as you can see, every side is done. And I really wish that we could end it there because it was kind of a bit of a process putting these on. It's more so a process of getting the old ones off. Because you know, it's always rusted on the car, especially with a car this old. It just sucks having to take things off because it's rusted out living in Eastern US. But now I gotta bleed the brakes. So I'm gonna start from the spot that is farthest away. So this back right, the back left, then the front right, then the front left, and bleed out the whole system. As you can see, there is no WRX in sight. And that is because I simply just ran out of time before I had to go get it inspected because it was expired. I kind of need this car to drive around sometimes. And there was a little issue that we ran into. Let me show you. So here's kind of an example of what our rear looks like on the WRX. This isn't my car specifically, but it pretty much is the same exact setup. So behind this rotor is actually a drum brake for the rear e-brake, I believe. So once you pull this rotor off, this is kind of the assembly that you see. And every other corner of the car is fine besides the passenger rear, which I think is having a problem with this, shifting back and forth. Because these primary shoes on each side, I think are pretty worn down. So they're shifting back and forth whenever I turn the car. After I drove the car at first, the brakes did squeak a little bit. I think that's just because you have to brake them in a little bit because they're rubbing against the rotor. But after I wore it in a little bit, it didn't scrape or anything like that. But for some reason, on the passenger rear, every time I drive straight, there'd be no noise. But if I turned left or right, there would be a noise. I put out the brake pads, tested, and it still made the noise, so I knew it wasn't anything wrong with the pads or the caliper or anything like that. But I think that the only thing that it possibly could be is this, just based on a bunch of different things that I tested, but I simply ran out of time before I had to get it inspected. So we'll see if this is it. I'm gonna actually hear from them soon about the car. The car actually doesn't need an alignment too, because it just got the coilovers on it. They're also gonna bleed the brakes since all the brakes are new on it. I figure it's just best if they do it. I already did it, but just so the brake pedal doesn't feel spongy or anything like that, I figured they might as well just do it while it's getting inspected. Then they're also gonna look at that back passenger wheel and see if they can find out what's making the noise. I could have done it myself, but I wanted to try and get this video out for you guys, and we could just cut it here and then pick up where we left off in the next video and actually go into everything about the car, which would be more of like an overview. We could do a little bit about the brakes. Maybe we could also just do a whole overview because so much of the car has changed in the past year or even just past couple months. So we'll see. The next video is just going to be either going over all the brakes and then maybe we'll do a whole overview video, or maybe we'll just do a whole overview video so you guys can see everything that's been done to the WRX over the past couple months and just kind of recapping some things we've done the past couple of years, but then more so the past couple of months because I feel like it's been the most productive for the car ever. We'll just have to wait till it comes back, they figure out the solution, and then we can go ahead and continue from there and you guys can see the rest of the stuff that's done to the WRX. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video, and thanks for the support. Peace!